guys. Sorry, apologies for the
Welcome.
delay. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. You know what, Monty? You probably need to get yourself a PA. I could actually lend you my PA if you need it, Monty.
How much? What's the hourly rate?
The hourly rate. Well, she's on about 35K a year, but she's fantastic, and she gets a small bonus at the end of
Oh,
the
you
year.
must be a very busy man to give a PA 35K. Good for you.
Yeah. Well, Monty, I'm CEO of Clapham, and the chief chat officer. So I'm a busy guy, but look, it's fantastic to get you on the pod. We're massive fans, and you are actually our fourth cricketer. We've had Ollie Pope, Darren Goff, Ben Duckett, and now yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. Very kind. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, Monty, you've just got back from India where you were playing for the England Legends team with KP and the other boys. How did you get on over there? And did you boys have some good socials after the games?
Yeah, look, we were like we just had a great time there actually. I think when we went there, we wasn't too sure what would it be like, and we thought it'd be like a lashings game, just like a benefit match, legends together having a laugh. But it was really serious. They had like 20, 30,000 people in the stadiums, and Kevin Peterson was brilliant, as a captain, because I think he would just sort of just be brilliant at saying, guys, well, do whatever training you need to do, but on game day we'll be all ready. And because he knew his game so well that he didn't really have to train, as hard as he needed to. But it was just brilliant just to see, how good he was at just his approach to captaincy was really good.
Montes, could KP still perform at like first class cricket? Is he still as good as he was?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He performed brilliantly. We played against India, and he scored like 78 off like 30 odd balls, batted superbly well. But I think he's very successful media career now. So he just doesn't have time to playing.
Too much cash.
Pretty much
he's got too much cash.
Everywhere.
Well,
yeah, that's another good reason as well. Yeah. So he's worked very hard to get where he was. So yes, it's good on him. He's a great broadcaster now. So yeah,
he probably has a PA.
Well, I don't know. This is a very good question. I think when you have a PA, does that mean you've made it in the world because you become so busy, so successful? Maybe it's one of them things I need to put as my goal for 2021. Need to get a PA, which means I've become very busy.
Well, Monty, I always say if you need help finding one, just let me know, because I put down the criteria is I always look for a PA that comes from sort of an arts background, dancing, singing, or athletic background. Someone who is just understands that banter is banter, and then someone who's great to have a drink with. So those are the three criteria I look for. And Tanya, who I've got now, is brilliant. She's 34. She's into yoga. She has a dreamy body, but more importantly, she's really efficient. So if you need anyone, just let me know.
Okay, brilliant. So what's your favorite criteria out of the three? Is it yoga or drinking?
Well, she's good fun on a night out. And when before coronavirus, we had a few nights at Infernos. I don't know if you've been to Infernos before.
No, I'll add that on my list. I'm sure I'll meet you guys in Infernos.
Oh, Monty, you will enjoy Infernos. Infernos happens to be probably, if not London's, probably the world's greatest nightclub. It's based in Clapham High Street and is phenomenal. It's a great night out. There are some beautiful chicas there, but it's just great chat. There's a lot of rugby guys there just with their tops off, drinking pints. If you like Max Evans, then it's Max Evans' favorite nightclub in London.
Anything Max Evans excuse you to get his top off. That's it. He's the first one who gets it off.
How do you know Max? Because obviously, sort of this came about as me and Max are doing a live. Then you sort of followed, and he seemed to know you pretty well. How do you know Max? Because he's obviously been on the podcast.
I know him on Dancing on Ice. We became really good mates, and rugby, cricket. You have that similar banter, which makes it easier to connect. And he was brilliant. He's into his fitness. I love my fitness. And we just got talking, and he told me his uncle is actually the famous Evan out of the three.
Yeah.
And
Chris
he told me about his brother, who's actually, he's actually probably his fame has gone through the roof now because he's got a very famous partner.
Yeah. That it pays to be that good looking.
Yes, yes, yes. I guess all them hours doing the hard training sessions and making sure you got a chiseled jawline and six
Yeah.
and abs and all of that sort of pays dividends in later down the line.
That's what I say. A lot of the guys I work with in the city who are in good shape seem to be successful. I do think there's something in that. Look at Tom Evans. Probably not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's in phenomenal shape and he's having a good time with Nicole Scherzinger. Someone I used to have the poster on at my boarding house school room, my dorm room.
Absolutely. Like, when is he going to go down on his knee? He should be there. Should be getting the ring out.
Yeah, get down on your knees, Tom.
She is phenomenal. What a woman. What a woman.
Monty, were you ever asked to go on the Celebrity X Factor? Do you have a good voice?
No. Well, I don't know. I haven't sung yet, but maybe if I have a few singing lessons and I could sort of, surprise Simon Cowell. He's probably sitting there bored listening to everyone else, and then he goes, "Oh, let me see what Monty's all about," and he'll be thinking, "Oh, this is interesting. I'll just put him through the next round because he's just a great guy."
Yeah, Return of the Monty.
Yeah,
Monty, just going on Dancing on Ice, sort of dancing off script, but what is that experience like? You're obviously a very sort of well-known figure. Do you get a lot of offers like that? I mean, look, I've got 50,000 followers on Instagram. I'm waiting for that blue tick. I cannot wait. But I assume, Dancing on Ice, Strictly Come Dancing are going to be calling soon. Just tell us, what is that experience like?
oh, it's great. You're learning a new skill, and you know what sportsmen are like. They love being competitive. Once they start learning something and they understand, what it's all about, then you want to get better at it. And unfortunately, I broke my ankle before the first week, so I didn't really get onto the show, and then just had an extensive rehab. But it was great to see when Max was on there. Perry was on there as well. She was brilliant when she that entrance of hers. But we all knew, Jack Quinsandale was going to be the winner. He was just way ahead of everyone else, and so talented. Like, he could just do everything: singing, dancing. He plays football. He's just like all multi skills put in one. So he's like supremely talented, artist. And really pleased for him when he won.
Monty, just going back to your incredible career. So obviously you're still, you had an amazing series in India. You want to get back involved in the professional game. Duncan Fletcher described you as the greatest finger spinner of all time. Were you in Shane Warne's top 100 cricketers?
Yeah, he managed to put me in there, so that was very kind. So I got in there, got his top 100 cricketers, and it was just great. Just to sort of, I think that it was easy to go into a side that was winning, that was successful, because you can just, everyone's mindset was slightly different. They're really positive, upbeat. They know how to win games. They know how to, win games for England. So you're going it's easier to go into a setup that is successful and winning, because you then just feed off that energy. So that really helped my career, to be honest.
But Monty, how come no counties are giving you a go? Because you want to get back involved in the professional game, don't you?
Yeah, I did. I did sort of thought maybe, I had an article out on the Sunday Times and hoping that there'll be a county or someone out there, but no one kind of really approached me, or, a lot of people kind of say to me, well, Monty, that's, you're 39 now, you maybe past that. And that's why I started to do last year. I think in September, I did a degree, which I'm doing right now. It's a 1-year degree, master's in sports journalism. So I'm hoping, that sort of starts, opening up doors and opportunities.
Monty, did you not go to LinkedIn, which Archie believes is the greatest network place in the world, to try and get a job as well? I saw you put out a post on LinkedIn asking clubs for opportunities to come play. Did you get anything off the back of that? And if not, Archie,
I didn't really get anything back of that either. So, you're generally, it's a little bit difficult, isn't it? It's like you ring up a coach and you're not really sure what they're going to think. They're like, 39, and then you look at their young sort of spinners playing in the team, you think, well, I don't really have a spot here. Where is a spot? And I don't know if I can see one, but you never know. There could be, a county sort of halfway through the season, if they need a spinner or like a spin coach spinner, something like that, would nice to get involved. But then, I'm looking also long-term. Short-term goal could be that. Long-term is more, got to invest in my, life after cricket. And then I thought, why not just do a international sports journalism? Yeah, that's the degree I'm doing.
To be honest, Monty, I only really use LinkedIn for dating. So I couldn't really help you in terms of how to get network really, but I would suggest maybe getting a membership to the Ned. I don't know if have you been to the Ned?
No, I don't have membership to the Ned, or the Trump. Apparently, that's another place I need to get memberships.
Yeah.
Come on, Freddie. You're the guy with 50,000 people on LinkedIn, and you have a
Archie.
PA.
Oh, that's
I'm
me.
sure the next
That's
stage
me.
is for you to get a membership for Monty Panesar.
Monty, it's Archie, and yeah, I will definitely go and get you a membership to Ned. No problem at all. Just tell me though. More importantly, I mean, I know you're sort of trying to get a journalistic job. You're doing the degree and also the cricket. If right now, short term, what would be the ideal opportunity? Would you go and play cricket now and put the degree on the back burner, or would you try and balance both?
Probably try and balance both, and then the thing is, second half of the season when the wickets get drier, you just don't know. There could be like a team that I think actually could do with an experienced campaigner, and then I could start playing cricket again, which I've done all my life. So that's the easiest, sort of go to sort of, you put a ball in my hand, I'm at my most relaxed, So yeah, that's probably my ideal option. So yeah. But the thing is, and when you look at youngsters in the spinning team, you look logically, you think 39, I'm going to probably take the spot of a young spinner. I don't know if that's.
But you're Monty Panesar. That's surely as well that commercially that makes sense for a team.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, look, I don't know.
Listen, I'm gonna speak to some of my contacts at the Ned. I think I can sort this out for you. I really do.
Well, Archie, if you can sort it out, then great.
Well, Archie,
you'll be on speed dial on my phone.
No problem, Monty. Anything for a new friend on Instagram and a good friend of Max Evans's, it's not a problem. And for a small fee, which we can talk about off camera, I will get you a contract at a county team.
Monty, your first Test wicket, how could we forget it, was the god of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar, who is probably the most famous person to play the game in the last 30, 40 years. Can you take us back to your best memories of that incredible moment in Nagpur?
Yeah, that was like look, Andrew Flintoff picked me because I was an attacking spinner. I'll bowl it with pace and I'll attack the stumps. And that's what I tried to do. I thought, just got to bowl good deliveries to these top players. That's all I've got to do. And then hopefully I was like, I don't know when I'm going to get my first wicket, but I'll just keep bowling my, like when you play against the best players, your focus hones in, you think, right, I'm just going to now, not give any width, make sure, processes, all the things that the coaches talk about, he just zones it in. And I was a type of player which even before I made my debut, I remember getting Graham Hick out in the same innings twice, first time I bowled to him, Andy Flower got him out. So there were great players of spin in the county game, and I was getting big guys out. And it was just for me, I used to always bowl better against a better player. So I thought, this is what I want to do. And I just kept it tight. And one sort of, if you attack the stumps and it doesn't turn, and Sachin played for the turn, hit his pan, and I just, turned around and off I went.
And Monty, you're obviously one of England's greatest spinners of all time. But what about the people who say Monty only had one delivery? He couldn't turn it the other way. He never mastered the dusra. Like, what do you say back to that? People saying, actually, he wasn't that good. You were great.
Well, yeah, I was probably more of an orthodox spinner. And look, sometimes, it was a very simple thing of just changing my, length stride at the crease. So I'll get it to bowl slower, just change my positions, change angles, small things like that, rather than going back to my stock delivery, which was obviously had a really good stock delivery. But in between that, that's all I had to do. It wasn't like, a million miles away or anything like that. It was just small little things, which, sometimes, in the media, it gets talked about. But look, that's all it was. It wasn't anything like, something I had to do drastically, and sometimes it's just, it's the pressure, it's the pressure of playing top level sport and trying to simplify it in your mind as well. And knowing that, that's all I had to do.
Monty, as well as being the CEO of Clapham, I'm also the captain and social secretary for the Clapham Falcons, which is a semi-professional rugby team. I could have gone pro, but there's too much money to be made in the city. But interesting you talking about that, because who did you turn to in times when you did feel the pressure, on the field and off the field? For me, it's my father, Alistair, who I have a great relationship with. I'm hoping to see him this year. But is there anyone in the team or that you talked to on the field when you felt the pressure? And who did you speak to outside of the team, off the field to help you, deal with the pressure of the media or people's, opinions? Because obviously you can't escape that. It's in the paper, it's on Twitter, it's on social media. So how do you cope with that?
Yeah, look, you try and speak to coaches that, that were part of my game from a younger age. The thing is, like I would always go back to and resort to my stock delivery because I was probably under pressure, thinking I'll get hit out of the park if I bowl something else. So, I think part of my character at the time was probably trying to please everyone, listen to everyone, rather than should have had one or two people, and that was it. So, yeah, I think it was a bit of a tough time for me because I just tried to listen to everyone rather than just have one or two people that I trusted.
Why do you think that was it? Like, interesting. Is that your personality, that you seem like a very sort of likable person, someone who who will fit into a team and the culture, which is, important to have like people like that. But say like a Kevin Peterson, who is a character and sort of does his own thing, and again has been successful in that attitude. Why do you think, and what's changed as you got older? Do you think if you look back now, would you have been more forthright in your opinion in the way you are?
No, I probably just had one or two coaches and that's it. Not listen to everyone.
Yeah.
I remember Jeffrey Boycott said to me, he goes, Monty, the second word is off and the first word you can work out, and just tell everyone that, because you're just a natural cricketer. And maybe I should have had that conviction when I was younger. Just told everyone to F off, really. Yeah. And sometimes being that blunt as a sportsman helps you, because then no one can get in your bubble. You can simplify the game in your mind, as keep it, because it's the key for any sportsman is, you want to keep it as simple as possible, whatever your game plan is, whatever that is. And sometimes listening to too many people can complicate your own game plan.
It's funny. It's not just in the sports arena. It's also in an office environment. There's Michelle from accounts in my office. She'll come in. She'll want to know, about stuff. And I do, I have to simply say, just fuck off, Michelle. Just fuck off. Okay. Because I'm bringing in the money. I don't care who pays it. You chase it. Fuck off. But, and it's interesting. And you can use that on the rugby field. Yeah, there's a couple of guys on my team that I will just, they'll tell me stop kicking it, trying to do a crossfield kick. And I'll just tell them fuck off. My dad's bankrolling this team. So if you don't like it, fuck off.
Well, Monty, talking about coaches.
Freddie, fuck off.
I mean, you were in that incredible team coached by Andy Flower. Alistair Cook was captain for a certain period. And obviously it all fell apart after that Ashes series, which you should have been playing in. And KP is obviously the scapegoat. So tell us the truth from inside that dressing room. How bad were the feelings between KP and the rest of the team, and how hard was it to work under Andy Flower?
Well, look, I think KP was one of the sort of cricketers that became this global T20 phenomena. Him, maybe Chris Gale were the two, leading cricketers in the world. And possibly other cricketers in the team were thinking, well, why is he allowed to have the liberty to do what he wants and, and enjoy the success of, playing in the IPL and having a massive paycheck day, which starts to, like money, sponsorship starts to create differences amongst teams, amongst the environment. You get a group of 11 players and you think, right, everyone's on the same salary cap and we go and win it and become successful. Then everyone's, a bit more together. But when you see one person just become this superstar of IPL T20 cricket and play for England,
yeah,
it kind of starts, divide the team a little bit, because everybody wants a slice of the cake. It's natural human behavior to think, actually, I want a piece of that. I want to be as successful as that. And then suddenly you divert from whatever the team of winning and everything. You start looking at, the deals, sponsorships, and it kind of then,
But Monty,
creates that sort of,
how bad was the relationships in the dressing rooms? You know, give it to us straight. Everyone's in there with KP. Are people speaking to him? You know, you guys travel for months on end in cricket.
yeah.
Did anyone
Look,
talk to
everyone
KP, or was he by himself?
yeah. Look, I think when we played the Ashes and he was fielding down to find leg, you know, he never used to field there. That's when he realised that's actually the relationship between the team and KP is so far and distant that they're not, you know, it takes, you know, like they say, it takes two hands to clap, you know. I can't clap with one hand. You know, you need two parties to come together and work it out, you know. So yeah, Archie and Freddie clap. So,
but Monty, did you ever see Matt Pryor and KP come to, you know, physicals or, you know, swearing in the change room? And I've heard some rumors that it got pretty ugly.
yeah, look, they're both South Africans. They're both competitive. They're both similar in nature in terms of how they play cricket. They were good mates when they played youngsters together. So you're gonna get, like, you know, one sort of saying, you know, align yourself with the team, and the other saying, no, I want to, you know, do what I want. But that, because they've got such similar backgrounds, you know, and that characteristics are quite similar,
yeah,
they're obviously gonna, you know, fall out.
So Monty, was it Matt Pryor who started the Twitter account then? Apparently it was. I think, yeah.
Oh, is that the case? I'm not even sure. I was like,
really, Monty?
It is interesting you talk about the Twitter account, because I used to read some of the message when I wasn't in the team, and I found them very funny, and they were so spot on with some of the stuff that came out. But
are you sure it wasn't you, Monty?
No, but imagine if you were that player now, Freddie, you know, and someone did a Twitter account on you, and then critically,
no one would do a Twitter account on Freddie, Monty. He's pretty irrelevant. If someone did a Twitter account on me, yeah. I mean, there's been some stuff in the Clapham press, which I just want to say was not me or my body. Okay, but I completely appreciate it. It would be disturbing.
Yeah. So look. They're both. I think they're good mates now, because I think they both work together on Talk Sport. So yeah, they must be. Yeah, they are. They seem to work along well. So
Goffey told a great story when he was on here that when they were playing Test cricket, Goffey just came along to take him on the piss and to make him feel happy. Did you play with Goffey? And what were your impressions? Could you do some stuff with him on Talk Sport, don't you?
I do bits and pieces. You know, I would love to get involved more, you know, with Talk Sport. So yeah. Look, Goffey's a great guy, because he's a type of guy. I think everyone warms to him. You just want to meet him and just be around him, because he makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And he just does that with everyone. And that was good on him to say, come on, guys, two mates, let's you know, have a few drinks. Let's, you know, let's not, you know, let's make up now. You know, you're two good mates. And I think they've kind of made up. But I don't know. I don't know who created the Twitter account. I don't know, you know, why it was created, who did it, but, you know, I've never seen another sportsman, you know, where a Twitter account's been created, you know, and this is where KP's argument is. It's like he had a laugh with it to just find that's great. But I think someone in the management or bigger picture said, no, cancel that Twitter account. It's affecting our play.
Yeah.
That's what that was the problem. The real problem was, that's the root of it, was that Twitter account.
Yeah.
If there wasn't a Twitter account, none of this would have ever happened.
Well, Monty, just to finish off in KP before we move on to more of your incredible career, what was the worst altercation you saw between KP and another teammate, and who was it? A moment where you just said, I can't believe I'm saying this in a professional environment.
KP. I think KP was he trained really hard. And I think, you know what it is, right? Is that sometimes you got to align yourself how the establishment want you in this country. And people don't like maverick people. Ian Botham was one.
Yeah.
Out of the circle. And all this kind of stuff. And when you play at high level for England,
yeah, mavericks
in this country are a big no-no unless the establishment say, come and join us and be part of our party.
And they have, to me. And I've said, yeah.
Yeah, that's why, like, where's my membership for Trump, for Ned, for this?
It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry. But you're right. You know, if you're a maverick, you get shot down. The amount of abuse I get, you know, people saying like, oh, your teeth are so brilliant. And, you know, just being really critical about my nose, or people saying that maybe I put on a bit of body fat, and I'm saying, guys, I'm in pre-season, I'm trying to just reduce, but it's difficult. If you're a maverick, you put yourself out there, you get shot down.
Well, I think like now we've got the social media boycott going on, which is brilliant. It started off as a football boycott and it's a sports boycott, but it's a vehicle for fans to show their behaviors, what they really think of society. They use football as the vehicle to say, right, this is what I think of society. This is what I think of person from a BAME community, from a person of a different color. And I'm going to share my views through football. And I'm going to chant the names and, some of the stuff we hear, like, I'd rather be a Scouse than the P word.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is this really on? Like, do we have to accept this kind of behavior and to say, yeah, brush it on the side? It's just part of society, guys. This is what you're going to get as a sportsman. You're going to get racism. People are going to shout chants at you. Just quieten it out. Well, it's about mental toughness. Go out there and perform.
Monty,
a person from a diverse background deal with this sort of stuff.
Yeah, Monty, talking about chants, I've actually watched you play around the world. You were always brilliant. But the Indian fans used to have a bit of a sort of laugh and a joke with you, and they used to sing Monty's Punjabi. And that was obviously a light-hearted, because they actually wanted you to play for your team, for their team. You were so good. But what's the worst chant or the worst sort of heckling you've ever had to deal with when you've been fielding at fine leg?
Look, for me, when I was in the England team, like you said, I just did anything to accept myself. My coaches around me said, whatever the coach tells you to do, just accept, because you want to be part of the circle and the team. And I think sports banter brings team together. Doesn't matter what color, race you are, you have a laugh, and it binds everyone together, right? So people say to me at fine leg, Monty, where'd you park your elephant, mate? And I had a laugh with it. Great, it's great fun. But now, do you think it's possible? If a fan said that to me now, I think you have to report it.
Yeah,
so
you would.
I'm so used to sports banter, which can be a bit racist. It can be a bit of a laugh. You laugh at each other's. I give out British white jokes to my teammates. They give me back. We have a great laugh. But I don't know if we're allowed to do that anymore. I think it's banned.
I think the way banter is these days, I don't think you can have that kind of chat anymore. And for the right reasons, because it's not, I don't think it's not a laughing matter, is it? It's making a joke of a bigger thing.
Yeah, you've got to be clever with your banter.
And that's luckily. I mean, look, as I said, my second title is the Chief Chat Officer, and I steer away from any sexism, racism. I'm just purely about CrossFit and lashing it up, getting on the old sauce, which I am pretty phenomenal at. Monty, you're always more than welcome to come out of me. I thought a perfect night is we'd start with I know you don't drink anymore, but we could have a few drinks on the roof of the Ned, then take the Northern Line down to Clapham, and I'll just show you out and about some of the great places. I think you'd love number 32. It's a phenomenal pub. And then we'd head to Inferno's, and there are, like I said, some lovely, lovely ladies there. So I could introduce you some of the girls who play for the netball team, for Clapham netball team. Really, really nice girls.
That would be great.
Oh, brilliant. Friday night, I'm booked in now, isn't
it?
And
I think a couple of them are RPAs. So that could be also an interview scenario in a nightclub, which will probably, you'll see their best side. You'll see them in their natural environment.
I'm learning all the tips from you, Archie, now. So great. I'm looking forward. I think some Friday evenings are booked up with Freddie and Archie.
Mate.
To the Ned,
not so much
number
Freddie.
32.
Not so much Freddie. I think Freddie would be he's a massive cricket fan, Monty, and a big fan of yours. So I think you'd find it overwhelming. I think he'd want to be having pictures with you the whole time.
Well, so he can put it up on his Facebook and then tell everyone, look.
Yeah, I'm mates with Monty. And I'd be like, well, you're not, because Monty's my friend. He follows me on Instagram, and we're really good friends.
Well, Monty, hopefully you'll follow me after this. But anyway, let's go back to Cardiff. Let's go back to Cardiff. You're most, obviously famous for your incredible bowling abilities. But Cardiff is probably what you're going to go down in history for, where you managed to bat for over 40 minutes, 69 balls with Jimmy Anderson to save the first test, which looked like we were going to lose. We ended up winning that series, all thanks to you. Firstly, what were the Australian boys saying to you? Surely they were giving you a lot of chat behind the stump, sledging those guys.
No, they didn't say anything at all. I think they were just a little bit surprised that Monty's really getting stuck in here. He's not going to get out or whatever. And we just count down the balls. Jimmy and me were just saying, listen, we'll probably nick one in a minute and just take it ball by ball. And I think it kind of surprised ourselves, and just thought, wow, we've actually drawn a test match. It was probably my finest sales in an English shirt. And that was my last test match at home in 2009.
Last test match home before New Zealand away. But how angry are you? Because you just saved the series for England. You put your body and your mind on the line to save it for the country. And then next week, you see Andy Flower and he says, Monty, you dropped, mate.
I knew I was going to get dropped, because I didn't bowl very well. I bowled terrible. My bowling wasn't good at all. And that was it, really. And then that was my last home test match, and I didn't play after that.
If only we knew each other, because I would have gone and had words with this Andy Flower guy. I mean, I'm not a cricket guy, but I would have gone and had words with Andy Flower and said, listen, Andy, why don't we go for a drink and let me just give you a proposition. I could have been sort of I suppose your PA in a way and your agent, and I would have probably got you a few more starts in that test. You deserved it. You deserved it. I'd say, listen, Monty Panesar is starting that next test, Andy Flower, and I'll tell you why, because if he doesn't, you're sacked. That's the kind of power I held or have held.
Wow, Archie, we need to I think I need to come and see you more often now.
Yeah.
That's fine. For a fee, Monty, that is fine.
I'm happy because Freddie will pay the fee.
Oh, of course. Well, Monty, Cardiff's obviously incredibly famous for messy nights out. So how did you boys celebrate? Obviously, you were still drinking then. Did it get loose? You were in a team with KP, Flintoff, Swanee. I mean, a lot of the personalities.
No, we just went home. We were all shell-shocked. We went in our dressing room, was like, I can't believe what's just happened. Is that really happening? And goes, yeah, we've just drawn a test match against Australia. And everyone just packed their bags and went home. And I just knew, even when I was driving home from Cardiff to, back to Luton, I was just like, I think this is, I don't think I'm going to play the next one. And that's what happened.
Well, obviously, Swanee kept on taking your place in all formats. You were always wrestling to get in and out of teams. What was your relationship like with him? I mean, he's an incredibly annoying person, I think.
Well, I look, spinners, they all kind of like enjoy each other's company, because I played with him at Northants and we had great fun together. I loved bowling with him for England. I think he knows me really well as well. He knows, he knows me, the Monty, the person. And I was so cricket obsessed that it would be difficult. If I didn't have a good day, then it would be difficult for the teammates and think, well, how do we connect with Monty? Because he's so cricket obsessed. And that was probably the part of me where I should have maybe, I wish I had a hobby like golf or played some FIFA games. So I had some sort of other hobby where I could just hang out with the other guys and not think about cricket. But yeah, I love bowling with him. He was brilliant. Off spin, left arm spin. Yeah, I absolutely.
Goffey's not that keen on him.
Yeah, I remember Swanee telling me this when he was at North. He goes, yeah, he's obviously, he's quite witty, quick off the mark, and sometimes, he may say the wrong thing at the wrong time. So, yeah, they obviously had a bit of a push and a shove in South Africa. I can imagine.
I'm Team Goffey. I'm Team Goffey.
I can imagine Swanee saying something.
Yeah, loves a cigarette, Swanee, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a great lad. He's a great lad. Honestly, from a and look, I love the guy. I think he's an awesome guy. Yeah. And yeah, look, if you're gonna wind up one of the greats of the game in English cricket and you're a youngster, I think that's gonna wind a lot of people up.
No, I agree with you. Although Andrew Strauss said you trained harder than anyone he'd ever met, when you got dropped from that Cardiff test, it sort of started a downward spiral for a bit in your career. So, you started to feel the ball with your feet and throwing the ball in underarm. You were playing county cricket and really, unhappy, falling out of love with the game. How bad was that 2013 season for you?
Yeah, it was a very difficult season. I think you're probably right. I fell, out of love with the game. That's what it is. When you don't love the game, then you're like, your behaviors are different. And that's probably what it was. I wasn't in love with the game. And suddenly, yeah, you're like thinking, I think sort of mental health in sports is a way of, I think they're much better now, but yeah, at the time it was still learning about it. A lot of people learning about that kind of stuff. And even Trescothick came out with it, which we didn't realize at the time what was going on. And I was probably, suffering myself, but I was the other end. I'll fight it. I had a book from the PCA sent to me, like strong deniers are also is a characteristic of you got mental health. You like, I'm a sportsman. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to show that, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and we don't show sign of weakness. All of that kind of cliche kind of stuff. And I was the other end. There's this. I think some people are quite soft. If they're not great, you see a soft side to them. Me, I'll get more of you see a harder side. More of aggressive side. And that's the other end, where it's actually that there is, the balance, one end to the other. Then there's something isn't right, and I had to eventually. I had an article with Mike Atherton, and I had to eventually, because ECB cricket, everyone just thought Monty's gone off the rails. What's going on with him? So then, I had to just pull out. And Mike Atherton wrote a really good article on me, very well balanced, really good article. And that was the start of that journey where I had to admit to myself, maybe something isn't right and I need to maybe get some help. And then, I started to work with professional psychologists and stuff. And then eventually realized, I don't want to be on medication. It's not for me. Short-term weight gain and all that kind of stuff. Got off it. I thought, again, the Monty mentality, head on, right? I know there's days I don't feel great. I know there's days I'm going to feel not good. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to have a list of all the things to do when I don't feel great. Go and do one of them. And then that's it. I started to, it's basically when your serotonin levels are lower than it needs to be, and you've got to do exercises to boost it up. And then without medication, I just fought it, and now no medication, I'm perfectly fine now.
Monty, what is on a serious note, like what is that like? Because you are such a well-known figure, and obviously someone who loves the game of cricket, and then to, I guess, publicly, as you were talking about, have a bit of a meltdown. So, that and your way of dealing with it was to get harder and harder, which is probably the wrong thing to do in those situations. To have that pressure with yourself, but also the pressure from the outside world seeing you do this, and all these things that happened that were in the press about yourself, does that exacerbate the situation? Does that find it harder to get yourself where you are now, or does that spur you on? And because I guess so many people deal with their mental health without the public seeing it, like Freddie, and he has a mental breakdown. No one really cares. Me and you. Yes, people will notice it, but seriously, did you find that difficult to sort of get your head around, because people would recognize you, people would see you, it'd be in the paper? How did you deal with that?
Yeah, look, you have to deal with it, it's your natural mentality. What are you? A natural, it's like, that's why I started to do a bit more boxing, because I started having a PT trainer, and he goes, you're a natural fighter. You're a natural, it comes out of you in the boxing ring. You don't mind getting punched. You're still in there. So you got that natural fighting instinct. So for me, if there's any sort of problem or anything I have to deal with, I will find a way of getting out of it. And then obviously, I kind of realized that, I think the most there'll be some days where you're like, this, it could be a same day, beautiful day, lovely garden. There's some, same walk down the same road, same scenery, and you feel great because you got up in the morning. Everything felt light, and you feel awesome. Then the next day, same thing. You feel like sluggish, lazy, and then you walk down the street and the same things you just don't like because inside you're not great. And that's where you say, right, what do I do? Do I take medication? Do I get a strong antidepressant? Take it? Right. Oh, that feels great. But you're sugarcoating it. Yeah. You got to approach it head on, holistically. Walk through it. Walk through the emotions. Walk through all that pain. And it's just like there's clouds, This is the way I analyze it. You have all these clouds. Some days it's heavy clouds. You've got to get rid of all the clouds, the thoughts. Do exercise. Have your list of things to do which boost your serotonin without medication. And then suddenly you see clear blue sky. It may take you an hour, may take you 2 hours some days. Do yoga, whatever. There's
touch rugby.
But that, you've got to meet that head on. Because if you're going to then just hide behind it and, not fight it, then you could be on medication all your life. You could be there right, I don't feel great today. I take the easy option. I'm going to take the medication. The doctor said it, medically advised, X, Y, and Z. Then long term, I've had people who've been on medication for 10 years. They go, Monty, how did you get off it? I said, you got to go through the pain. You got to meet it. Fire on fire. Today, this is how I feel emotionally. Meet the truth, your truth. Face it. If you're not going to face it, then you're going to be stuck in this cycle. And that's what I did. I thought, I've got to just face it. And then I, bit by bit, just got better and better and better. And, you know, so...
Credit to you, Monty.
That's incredible.
It's a great story. And it's interesting that you revert to sort of talking about exercise that you get from your serotonin levels going up. Because I mean, I haven't really suffered mental health issues yet. But you know, the one time after my gap year, I missed out on a promotion in my office, and actually started taking up touch rugby instead of one day a week, 2 or 3 times a week, and that actually helped me. Funny enough, just you know, to run around with the boys.
Well, Archie,
so that's if anyone else is listening, obviously take Monty's advice. But you know, if you live in Clapham, we organise touch rugby all the time. Come down, but don't turn up in a bad mood. I mean, that would
no. But look, I'm just saying, guys. You know, if you don't feel great, get a mate, get someone, or get your mate who's listening in, and you know you got another mate who's not great. Go knock on his door, get him out, walk, exercise with that person.
Well, Monty, talking about exercise and the importance of it in, you know, helping your mental health, you obviously, you know, you become very famous for doing your home workouts. Now, you like to keep your rig in shape. You're looking great, you know, in very good shape, I must say, the boxing as well. And you've come up with some genius ways to use...
That is a hell of an arm there, Monty. That looks decent.
You've come up with genius ways to use household objects for workouts. So I was wondering if you could give us on camera now, I don't know if anything's in your vicinity near you, but if you could just give our viewers a couple of home workouts they could do if they can't get to the gym still.
Yeah, look, you can get 2 cans of thing and then just go like that.
2 cans of, anything.
No, let me get one.
Let's go get some stuff, Monty.
It's like this. Get a couple of cans.
Yeah.
And then shoulder press down, bicep curl up, like that, yeah. And that's easy. Just do 20 of them a day. And, you know, at least you're doing some sort of exercise like that. And you could just sit there while you're talking to your family or, you know, while you're watching, let's say, Morning Live on BBC One, which is a really good program, actually.
You could do it on a business call if the camera wasn't on.
Yeah, you could do it on a business call, you know, have say, guys,
can we have
a 2-minute break?
Be like, Michelle, stop bloody calling me, okay? You sort it out. I brought the deal in. Listen, Michelle, just fuck off.
Yeah.
But I still be working out. I still be working out.
Monty, obviously you're in incredible shape, and so is Archie. Is there one more exercise where you just up the limit a bit, show us a bit more timber, really get those biceps going?
Well, you can. I don't know what other ones are there. That's all I got. I've got to.
No worries. Well, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Monty, obviously you're in great shape. You're currently a single man. Are you looking to settle down? Have you been dating anyone of late? You know, now that the world's opening up again?
I haven't really found anyone. So
are you on Raya?
You know, maybe Archie and Freddie can when we're on our nights out.
Monty, I know.
Could be great wingmen for me.
Listen, I could find you a lovely chica. Have you been out in Clapham yet, Monty?
No, I haven't actually.
You're joking. Oh, you would love it. Imagine me and you just bowling down the Northcote Road. Just restaurants and bars on this road. It's a pedestrian road. It is just full. I mean, Clapham is well known to have some of the most beautiful people and a lot of high net worth individuals. So the best thing about it is you'd meet a girl and probably her parents are really wealthy. So you wouldn't have to work ever again. Brilliant.
Well, there you go. We got to sort that arrangement.
Right. And also Max is coming back soon. So I'll sort it out. I'll get you on the night. It's me, Max, Tom, Sean Stratford. I don't know if you know him. He's a fitness PT guy. Seriously good, Nick. Great lid. Who else have we got? James Haskell. Goffey coming. Popey lives by. So we'll get him. Do you know Ollie Pope?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Popey. If you follow him on Instagram, he's got real problems posting about his dog. He's got to stop that.
Okay, I think I've got to go to my next interview.
Oh,
okay, Monty. Let's ask you one more question just before you go, if you don't mind. You know, you had a Bollywood film made about you called Battaglia House, and Archie's got his own movie he's trying to make, which I believe is called Clapham Junction.
Yeah, James Haskell's playing the lead, and I thought we could get you in as the quirky housemate that lives with him. Would you be
perfect?
Keen?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, Monty, that was a very quick answer. Also, the last thing, Mastermind. You know, you've been incredible on TV. What are your memories of that day in Mastermind? What went wrong?
I was one question behind. I think John Humphreys got me there with his chair and all the lights on spotlight on him, and he's just looking at you thinking, I'm going to catch you out here, Monty. And he did.
Monty, one thing we ask all our guests before you go, and I know you got to go, but what is your biggest highlight and what is your biggest regret?
Biggest highlight is probably, Cardiff Test match, batting. Biggest regret, I wish I had a PT trainer when I played for England. I would have been so much more athletic and fit. That's my biggest regret.
Well, Monty, we have a lot of incredibly important people who listen to this podcast. And so just to finish off the final 10 seconds, I want to give the floor to you, and I want you to pitch to the counties to give you one more shot.
Well, to all the counties, I'm ready to go. I'm bowling well, and maybe I can, come into your county as a player coach, spin coach role, and also play. So hopefully there's an opportunity out there for me.
And you're not afraid to tell people to fuck off.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And Monty, how do they contact you? Through LinkedIn? Is that the best portal?
Yeah, LinkedIn, or they can contact either through you guys or get me on my email address, which is my first name @gmail.com, MUDHSUDEN@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Monty, thank you so much. A real highlight to meet you and interview you. Great guy. Best of luck with everything. And we'll see you in Clapham very soon for some lash.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Cheers, Monty.